I'm a 56-year-old rural gun-owning white guy. If Kamala Harris thinks I'll vote for her, she's right. After the Great Depression, Franklin Roosevelt looked around and he didn't like what he saw. All the elderly people unable to feed themselves and all the unemployed who couldn't find a job anywhere, unable to feed their families. So he came up with the Social Security Act. Guaranteed retirement for the elderly and unemployment insurance for if you lose your job and it's not your fault, well, then you got something to tide you over. Now, the Republicans, they didn't like that at all. They were wholly against that kind of a government program. And there was a conservative Supreme Court. So when it passed in 1934, because Roosevelt was so popular, he was able to push it through. The Republicans challenged it in court. And in 1937, Supreme Court was getting ready to strike it down. Roosevelt told him, he says, you go ahead and do that. He says, I'll add some more justices to the Supreme Court so that I have a majority, and then we'll try it again. Well, they didn't want to dilute their power any, so they went ahead and found it constitutional. Fast forward to the 80s, Republicans are still mad because they couldn't kill Social Security, but they never gave up. Reagan, he was a very popular president. He'd get just about anything he asked for because he was so popular. And he came up with this idea, a long-term plan for killing Social Security. See, Social Security usually runs a budget surplus. There's more money coming in than going out. And Reagan decided, we'll take that money, all the surplus, and we'll put it into the general fund. And then the general fund will have to pay back Social Security. It goes on the books as money owed. And that is costing us a whole bunch of money. He figured that it would make the program unpopular and people would be more willing to get rid of it. But it was going to take a while. And to add to it, he said, we're also going to tax Social Security income. So before Reagan, your Social Security income was not taxed no matter how much money you made. After Reagan, if you met a certain income threshold, then you had to pay taxes on your Social Security just like on your IRA or your pension or whatever. He figured that that would weaken its popularity, that those two things would weaken the popularity enough that eventually Republicans would be able to kill it. Fast forward 40 years later, and we've got Donald Trump telling people, we're not going to tax your Social Security income if I get in. Well, here's the thing, folks. The vast majority of Social Security recipients, they don't have to pay taxes on their Social Security income because they don't make enough money. The other ones, the wealthy ones that are paying taxes on their Social Security benefits, well, that adds up to enough money that over 10 years it'd be around $1 trillion. That would ruin Social Security. It would end it. And that's not the only thing that Trump and Project 2025 has up their sleeve, because the unemployment part of it I told you about. Well, Project 2025, I couldn't find where it specifically talked about the retirement benefits. It does specifically talk about the unemployment insurance. And it says specifically that it will end it. No more unemployment insurance. No more, I got laid off because my factory closed down, so I need a paycheck to tide me over. None of that. Because corporations don't like having to pay that money. So the next time you hear Donald Trump, tell you vote for him because he's going to not tax your Social Security benefits, understand that you're probably not going to pay that tax in the first place. And if he does that, you're not going to have any Social Security benefits to be taxed. And vote for Kamala Harris. Good day.